Scientists at a Florida lab could feel something big inside this dead 18-foot Burmese python, so they cut it open. A necropsy, it's called.
Where I actually thought it was pretty gross too, and I'm used to necropsies and things.
Rosie Moore was one of the scientists investigating the snake's diet, and look what was on the python's menu: a 5-foot dead but still fairly intact alligator.
Did it smell terrible?
Oh my gosh, we were taking breaks. We were running outside trying to get some fresh air. Like, I've never smelled anything like that.
As one commenter joked, "Congratulations, your python is pregnant with an alligator." Florida encourages people to kill Burmese pythons because they eat so many other species and reproduce rapidly.
You actually call it a python invasion?
Yeah, it's commonly referred to as the python invasion.
The alligator inside the python video on Rosie's Instagram page went viral, and the photos of the scientist looking like a Bond girl in a bikini probably didn't hurt viewership. She models part-time and likes the idea of changing the image of female scientists.
Women in science are always kind of portrayed as like the dorky, nerdy, shy.
Not this woman in science. She dives into her job with passion. The alligator and the snake taught Rosie a new word.
It was compared to a turducken?
Yes, I had to look that up.
Someone suggested should have just cooked the whole thing. Would have been some kind of creepy Cajun version of a turducken.
This is the tur, this is the duck, and this is the inn.
Turkey stuffed with duck and chicken, turducken. So maybe we'll just call this a pie-gator-thon. Not that it's making anyone hungry. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
And turning now to Arizona, where Democratic incumbent Senator Mark Kelly is leading Republican challenger Blake Masters. The outcome of this race will help decide which party controls the U.S. Senate. And CBS News correspondent Christina Ruffini joins us from Phoenix, following all this for us. Good morning, Christina. So good to see you.
Good morning, guys, from a chilly Maricopa County. How are you this morning?
Good. I mean, I know a lot has been changing in your state right now. Where do things stand right now in the battle for U.S. Senate?
All right, so I'm going to read some numbers off my phone because it's early and I don't want to mess them up. So basically, we've got about 400,000 uncounted ballots that they're still working through in this building behind us. The reason this takes so long is they have this very, very complicated system where they have to take the ballot, they have to flatten it out, they have to get it ready to get fed into the machine, and then a bipartisan pair has to both sign off on each signature. So that process can go fairly quickly, like okay, but you still have to do that 400,000 times. The other issue is a lot of people dropped off their mail-in ballots, which you can do in this state, you can do in a lot of states, on Election Day, right? They didn't mail them in previously. They brought them to a polling place and dropped them off. So even if they did that on Friday, even if they did it on Monday, they're still working through a lot of those ballots. So we're expecting them to get cracking on those today. Most of the logistics have been smoothed out. Hopefully they can just start feeding them through the machines. As you mentioned, Mark Kelly is currently ahead. The Democrat is currently ahead of Blake Masters, the Republican Senate candidate. It's 53-46. Now, the thing everyone is expecting is a lot of these ballots that were dropped off on Election Day, they are expecting them to lean Republican because there was less confidence among the Republican electorate in the mail-in ballot process, as we can all figure out why. So the thought is a lot of those ballots that are waiting to be counted are probably going to lean Republican. Now, Mark Kelly has enough of a lead that he may maintain that lead even when those ballots are counted, but it might be a different story for the governor's race.
So let us talk about the governor's race, because I think it's even tighter. How are things going there?
It's really tight. The latest count this morning is Democrat Katie Hobbs has 52%, Kari Lake has 48%. But both campaigns have said they're sure that they're going to win. They've been very quiet at the moment. Everyone's just kind of waiting for these ballots to be counted. That's less of a lead for Katie Hobbs. And it seems like it's very possible today or the next day, as those Republican-leaning ballots get counted, she could overtake Katie Hobbs and could be leading. However, Hobbs so far has been leading in all the counting up until today.
And given how arduous this counting process is, how are people there feeling about this voting process, especially compared to what happened in 2020?
You know, I don't know if you guys remember what it was like when our crews were out here in 2020. It was Jamie Yuccas and her team, and it was pandemonium. There were protesters, there were violence, the reporters were getting threatened, the officials were getting threatened. They've really done their best to mitigate that this time around. If you can see behind me, there's fencing all the way around the facility. You have to buzz in. You had to submit a very extensive credentialing process to even get permission to be in the building. And it's pretty calm. When I took the cab from the airport, my driver was saying, look, it's been really nice so far. It's been very chill. Everybody I've talked to seems like they're okay with the process, and they're just going to wait for this count to come out. Now, you know, we'll have to see what the outcome is and whether or not all the candidates accept it. But so far, so good, without trying to jinx anything here in Arizona.
Right. Christina, thank you very much.
Thank you both.
And control of the Senate could once again come down to Georgia, and once again, it is headed for a runoff. ABC News projects neither Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock nor Republican challenger Herschel Walker will receive more than 50% of the vote. ABC's Ike Ajachi joins me live now from Atlanta for more on this. Ike, they needed a majority to win. It looks like neither candidate will get that. So how are their campaigns preparing for this intense runoff now?
Well, Diane, both campaigns, they're having a moment of deja vu right now. Both Herschel Walker and Senator Raphael Warnock, they're going to be hitting the campaign trail once again, but this time they'll be getting some outside help. Today, Senator Ted Cruz will be joining Herschel Walker for a bus tour. You can expect other national Republicans to join that movement. As for Senator Raphael Warnock, he too will be hitting the campaign trail once again, knocking on doors, trying to maintain that support that got him over Walker, but just shy of that 50% threshold, Diane.
Now, Ike, historically, Democrats in Georgia have had a harder time getting people to the polls during a runoff than Republicans, but Warnock did win in a runoff in 2020. So is there any sense of who has the advantage here?
Well, Diane, I will say this. As for Senator Raphael Warnock, it's going to be a tough battle for him. Look, you have to understand, there's two big questions for him. How will he maintain that momentum? And also, where will his new votes come from? Look, we just saw tens of thousands of people vote for the Libertarian candidate. There's a good chance that they'll simply sit this race out. Also, those voters who voted for Brian Kemp but not Herschel Walker, they may not be persuaded enough to come out for this runoff election if this is the only race on the ballot. And we have to really think about this next facet right here. It's going to be the holidays. Look, Georgians just sat through a very nasty campaign trail. Asking them to come out once again to vote for this election when it may ruin their holiday plans, it may be a too tall order for some voters here in Georgia.
All right, and Ike, the runoff election is December 6th. That's about a month earlier than the 2020 runoff. How much of a difference can that timing make?
Well, Diane, I got to say something. Timing is going to be everything in this race. But the new Georgia election laws, it's really going to affect how this comes out. Look, we now know that the runoffs are in 4 weeks instead of 9. Also, those new laws severely restricted early voting, which essentially means that registering new voters, it'll essentially be impossible. And it was that facet, registering new voters during the runoff, that helped Democrats so much last time. We're gonna have to wait and see if really that'll affect it this time around, Diane.
All right, Ike Ajachi in Atlanta for us. Thanks, Ike. This morning, caution from Ukraine about Russia's announcement it's withdrawing troops from Kherson. The Ukrainian military just liberated the town that lies on the main road to the Russian-occupied Kherson. But as Russian forces pull back to the Dnipro River, a senior Ukrainian official warns Russia wants to, quote, turn Kherson into a city of death.
In an exclusive interview with CNN, the Ukrainian president says he is now preparing for all possibilities.
So they're ready to defend this region, and they're not ready to leave the city. And the fact that they are in these homes means that they are seriously preparing. But we are also seriously prepared for these developments. But we're not considering this as just one single operation. We have a strategy and different directions.
CNN international diplomatic editor Nick Robertson is in Ukraine. Nick, a big question amid Russia's retreat from Kherson. Is this a big victory for Ukraine? It was, by the way, the biggest provincial city taken by Russia in the whole invasion.
It's huge. It's significant. It's symbolic. It's a big blow to President Putin's prestige back home. It's a political liability for him. The Russian military are trying to spin this as a strategic withdrawal to save troops, men and materiel. But we know the sort of callous and calamitous way they've treated troops so far. So that's hard to buy. Russian troops retreating have said it's because they couldn't resupply, get enough ammunition, get enough food in to keep them on that side of the river. But for Putin, this was a city, a capital city of a region that less than 6 weeks ago he declared part of Russia, illegally declared it part of Russia. What we understand from Ukrainian officials today is they expect to have to fight to take Kherson, but in the space of just today, they've taken over 100 square miles, taken control of 12 villages. At the moment, they're about 10 miles away from Kherson, and the evidence is that the Russians are withdrawing, according to their military, to a plan, but it's not clear what happens when the Ukrainians get to Kherson city itself. Is it going to be mined? Is it going to be booby-trapped? We know that the Russians have very heavily looted it, taken money from banks, taken equipment from hospitals, taken fire trucks from fire stations. So what will they find is unclear, but it does seem they are very much on the way to getting there, Jim.